evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?
And here we are in Pittsburgh as the Cubs are coming to town to take on the Pirates. Chicago sitting at 32 and 42 coming into this one. But they have been in charge of the series so far, as it has really been a combination of pretty good offense and defense. Just 6 earned runs allowed. The offense hitting .313 so far in the series. As we look at the series recap here, they won Game 1 8-5, Game 2 6-5, and looking for the sweep. However, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, as going to the hill for the Pirates is their ace, Evan Milton, making his 19th start of the season. He is 12-2 and 1.83 ERA, .91 WHIP. Just a ton of strikeouts, not a lot of walks, not a lot of hard contact, as Dansby Swanson steps in to start things off for Chicago. So that time Swanson early on the fastball after having been late on a few. The count still 2-2, and got him with a slider down and away. So he had him out in front that time, and he's down on strikes for the first out of the ball game. Not real close with the changeup there from Milton, and it's now 2-1 to Happ. And that's a mistaken location, but hit right at Hayes, and that's going to be the second out. Let's get a look at the Cubs lineup in this one, as it's Swanson, Happ, Horner. Patrick Wisdom struggling with the bat, just 195 this year. Then Morel, Mancini, Rios, Bellinger, and Pablo Aliendo doing the catching here, as this team has not been very good offensively so far this season. Chin music there from Milton on 0-2 to Horner, who has been one of the bright spots for the Cubs this year. He grounds this one to short, and it's the new free agent signing, D. Strange Gordon, sending that one over to G-Man Choi for the final out of the inning. Now we get a look at the Cubs right-hander. It's Kyle Hendricks going to the bump for them, making his 9th start of the season. He's been pretty good for them this year. He's worked 91 total innings with a 1.15 whip, 3.26 ERA. Does not strike a lot of guys out, but he does a good job inducing ground balls and soft contact. And it is going to be D. Strange Gordon to stand in here, a 2-time All-Star, but it's been several years since he's been that kind of player. Curve in the dirt. Hayes lays off, and the count now even at 2 apiece. The pitch from Hendricks is back up the middle, hit hard, and that is into center field for a 1-out single. So the Pirates will have the first base runner of the ball game as Hayes is on. Sinker missed low there to Reynolds, and now 2-1. Hayes extended lead there, and he is off and running. He's got a pretty good jump, and he is going to beat the throw and into second with a stolen base. And the pitch was down and in for ball 3. 7th stolen base of the year for Hayes. He's into scoring position now with 1 away, and a good hitter's count here for Reynolds. So now the 3-1 to Reynolds. Is hit hard, but right at him at first, as man did he barrel that one up. But it is handled by Mancini for the second out, and now it's going to be up to Evan Milton with 2 down. He's still hitting the ball well this year. .338, 12 home runs, 3rd best OPS in the National League, and also leading the league in wins. So he's the National League version of Shohei Ohtani right now. More of a contact guy than a power hitter, although showing some flashes of pop from time to time as well. Quickly in the hole though here, 0-2, as those are 2 pretty good pitches from Kyle Hendricks, and now Milton gonna have to battle. That one was a mistaken location, but he just got out in front of it and fouls it back. Still 0-2, wind up in the pitch, misses up and in. Good take from Milton there to lay off of that one. You have pretty respectable speed at second, so if you can get a base hit, it could score the runner, but he hits it right at Swanson, who sends it over to Mancini for the final out of the inning. So those the last couple of outs were hard hit balls, but nothing to show for it, and we are scoreless after 1. Those are 2 good takes by Wisdom, and he gets ahead in the count. Now it's 2-1. And that ball is hit hard, but a diving try by Marcano. He knocks it down, gets to it, makes the throw, but not in time. Is it going to go down as an infield single? But man, did he barrel that one up. 111 off the bat, and he is on to start the inning. Slider misses away, and Milton has struggled a little bit with his command of his off-speed stuff today. And that one was not exactly where he wanted it, but it's hit right at D. Strange Gordon, who starts the 6-4-3 double play, and that is big because that was definitely a mistake pitch, and he hits it hard, but fortunately for the Pirates, it turns into a twin killing. Good at bat here from Mancini as he has fouled off a couple of two-strike pitches, and it's now 2-2. He goes around on that one, though, as Rodriguez blocks it, has to send it down to first, and that's going to do it for the Cubs in the second, as they got a hit, but then the double play and a strikeout, and Milton is through 2 innings with no score. So 2 outs now for Connor Joe, a 1-0 count. He's got the average up to 324, as he has just been outstanding for the Pirates this season. And it continues here as he rips one into left center field for a 2-out single. Well, Marcano had one to hit there, a curve that was kind of left up a little bit and over the plate, but he's unable to stay back and swings through it, and now that one is hit pretty well, but Swanson has it, flips to second for the final out of the inning. We're going to the third. It's still scoreless here in Pittsburgh. Edwin Rios, the DH for Chicago, with an OPS down in the 500s. Obviously not where you want to see it. He flares one into right. Connor Joe in and makes the grab for the first out. Milton gets the call on the changeup down in the zone there, and it's quickly 0-2 to Bellinger. And now a fastball up and away, but in the zone for strike 3. Bellinger, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, never took the bat off his shoulder, and he is down looking for the second out of the inning. So now it is Pablo Aliendo with 2 down here, nobody on. That ball hit well. Sawinski going back to the track, to the wall, and he makes the catch with his back against the wall for the final out of the inning. That's a 1-pitch out, as it was a hanging curve that he couldn't lay off, but he's unable to get anything done with it, and we're going to the bottom of the third, still scoreless. Nowhere close with the sinker. It's now 1-1 to Ke'Bryan Hayes. 2 down here in the inning. That's a hanging curve that he lifts into center field, but he just missed it, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. So Pirates putting the ball in play, but nothing to show for it. It'll be the top of the order due up for the Cubs as we head to the fourth. So he's early on a fastball up and in, fouls it back. It stays 1-2. Now Milton goes to the curve and got him swinging. That's a good pitch right there, and he's down on strikes for the first out. Tries to change up outside and misses the corner. Now he turns to a slider here, and Happ out in front of it, rolls over that one. Choi steps on the bag, and that's the second out. Corner swinging first pitch there, pulls a slider foul, and it's 0-1. And now back up the middle, past the diving try from Marcano and into center field for a 2-out single. Now Reynolds throws it away, and that's going to get the runner up to second. There's no one there to back it up. Just a lazy effort there from Reynolds, and just a loss of focus, and that's going to put a runner into scoring position now with 2 outs, as I just don't know what he's doing here. That's just a terrible throw, and obviously not a whole lot of reason for anybody to be backing that up with a cutoff and the guy there covering the bag, but he misses both of them. Well, Milton gets away with a high curve there as he takes it for strike 2. Now he's 1 out away from escaping. That ball hit hard. Hayes knocks it down, recovers, and sends it over to Choi to get him. So Milton flirting with disaster there and able to get out of it. They strand the runner in scoring position. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth with still no score. Well, Hendricks hung a curve there, but Reynolds just fouls it off, and it's now 0-2. That ball is hit well into right center field. This ball is deep, has a chance to get out of here, and it does. A solo shot for Bryan Reynolds, and the Pirates grab the lead. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and it's the 12th of the year for Bryan Reynolds. That was just a rocket off the bat. Not a lot of elevation, but he got enough to get it out of here, and the Pirates are on top. And now it's Evan Milton's turn with the lead here, and Hendricks trying to get settled back in. That ball is squared up, but right at Bellinger in center, and a 1-pitch line out there for the first out of the inning. Fastball got the corner, and it's now a full count here to Choi. 2 down in the inning. Pitch from Hendricks is sliced into left field. Happ, long run. He is going to get there, and the former Gold Glover with 2 nice plays in this inning. Lots of hard contact for the Pirates, and they get 1, and they lead this thing 1-0 as we head to the 5th. Able to lay off there. It's now 1 apiece here to Morrell. Curveball grounded to the left side. Hayes fields it, fires it over to Choi, and that's the first out. Milton gets the call on the 2-1 fastball at the knees. It's 2-2 to Mancini. And a slider chopped in front of the plate. Rodriguez gets rid of the mask, fields that one, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. It's another good fastball from Milton. He's ahead now 1-2. And goes to the changeup here and gets him swinging. So a nice inning there from Milton. He has been outstanding in this one as he's through 5 innings now with a 1-run lead, just 2 hits allowed, and we're halfway home in this one. That's a nice changeup there from Hendricks, and it's now 1-1 to Rodriguez. That ball hit well. Going back in right field, this ball has a chance, and it is caught just shy of the wall. Nice grab there, and that is going to do it for the Pirates in the 5th. We are still locked in a 1-run ball game here, 1-0 as we head to the 6th. So Bellinger early on the changeup down and away. That makes it 2-2. And the pitch from Milton goes up and in with a fastball and just blew him away. 95 miles an hour. That pitch was pretty hittable, but he got him on strikes for the second time, and that's the first out here in the 6th. Milton gets the call down and away there to get ahead in the count, 0-1. And this one grounded softly to the left side. Hayes going to have to hurry, but he is just so smooth at third. Sends it over to Choi for the second out. Milton looking for another quick inning here. 2 quick outs and now 2 quick strikes to Dansby Swanson. And then next going to be 3 there as he chases the curve out of the zone. Another solid inning for Milton as he has just been shoving today. 2 hits allowed through 6 innings, racking up some strikeouts, and it's the top of the order due up for the Pirates. Ke'Bryan Hayes 1 for 2. 1 out here, nobody on, and the pitch from Hendricks is lifted into the left center field gap. This one is going to get down for extra bases, goes all the way to the wall, and Hayes will have a stand-up double with 1 out here in the 6th. Ryan Reynolds coming up. He hit the home run his last time up, and a chance here for another RBI with 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Missed off the plate away with the changeup. It's now 2-2 to Brian Reynolds. Hayes leading off of second. The pitch is pulled to the right side on the ground. They're going to get the out at first, so it'll be 2 down, the runner at third, and Evan Milton is due up for the Pirates. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and lined out to straightaway center than in his last at bat, so hopefully can just find some green here and get that runner home for a little bit of insurance. Nice pitch there, but he just misses outside, and it's 1-0. We've seen a little bit of inconsistency from the umpire, so could have easily gotten that call. And there's another one just missing outside, and it's now 2-0. It's been that outside corner that, generally speaking, he hasn't been giving the call on. Inside has been a different story, but you got to have the guts to go in there, and that's probably not the greatest idea for a guy like Hendricks. Doesn't throw real hard. That's a hittable sinker right there that Milton took, and then a nice changeup had him out in front, and he battles back to get it to 2 apiece. So a big pitch coming up here. Got to be thinking something down in the zone here. He goes away though, and dang it, just could not stay back. Rolls over it, and that's going to do it. They will strand another runner as it stays 1-0. We're heading to the 7th. And it's Happ, Horner, and Wisdom due up for the Cubs. So that's a tough pitch there. His fastball on the outside corner doesn't get the call, and now 1-0 to Happ. He goes back out there. Happ lifts this one into right field. Long run for Connor Joe, but he gets there for the first out. That is big, as if that gets down, it's extra bases with nobody out. Instead, it's going to be Nico Horner to stand in with the bases empty and 1 away. Horner 1 for 2 in this one of the only Cubs to have reached base. He did so with a single, and that one's not going to get it done. Marcano fields, sends it over to Choi, and that's the second out. The pitch. There's another outside corner location where you don't get the call, and now it is 3-1 to a dangerous hitter here in Patrick Wisdom. The pitch from Milton is down and away out of the zone for ball 4. It is a 2-out walk, and he got squeezed in that plate appearance. A couple of pitches, One on the outside corner didn't get the call. One at the knees didn't get the call, and you end up walking him. I'll tell you what, Milton pretty much has 4 strikes in this one, as that one was really close to Morrell going around, and it's going to be now into the gap in left center field. Reynolds can't cut it off, and that should score the runner from first. That is just absolutely huge. It's going to be a 2-out rally for the Cubs to tie this thing at 1, and you got to feel bad for Milton, as the umpire just doing him no favors behind the plate, squeezing him in both of these last 2 plate appearances, and it cost him big time, as he had Morrell struck out at least once. The check swing was really close, didn't get the call that time, and you can't really argue with the first base umpire. It was probably the right call. But now you're tied at 1 as Mancini steps in with a chance to give him the lead. And that ball is hit hard, but Marcano is going to make the grab to end the inning, and we're heading to the stretch in a tie ball game here in Pittsburgh, as Morrell has tied this thing with the RBI double, and the Pirates going to have to figure out a way to score some runs to get back out in front in this one. So we're going to quick manage the rest of the way out here, as Milton pitched very well, but this deep in the ball game, I don't want to push him too far, knowing that we need him to come back on short rest. So Sawinski to lead things off here, and he singles, and that's big, as if we can get a run here, Milton could still qualify for the win today. Let's get aggressive here. Oh, they're going to pinch, or they're going to change pitchers. They're going to another righty in Sampson. I'm going to stick with the hit and run. At least we got him into scoring position. Come on, Connor Joe. There we go. That's big. Now Marcano, we're going to go hit and run again. All right, so we only got the 1. They got lefty, lefty, catcher due up. We're going to go to Beeks here. They're going to pinch it with Hosmer, who hits lefties really well. I remember that. It's interesting for a left-handed hitter to have those kind of splits, but that's the case, and this is a big at bat. And he doubles. Double, double. Oh, but we throw him out at the plate. That is massive. Ground out, and now Swanson, and we got to go to Underwood here to try and get out of the inning. Come on, 1 out. Yes. All right, D. Strange Gordon, 0 for 4. I didn't really expect him to do all that well. I mean, he hadn't played all year. It'd be a lot to ask for him to step into the ball game after having just been signed and, you know, be a huge contributor. So Bednar got it. Oh man, barely. So he gave up that leadoff double, and of course I'm immediately fearing the worst. But we hang on to get the win, and Milton gets the W. So good job by the offense to help him out there when he needed it the most. He ends up giving up just 3 hits and a walk, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned, and gets the W. Kyle Hendricks was really good in this one. Didn't walk anybody, but also didn't strike out anyone. However, just 5 hits across 6 innings. That's pretty solid. Just got no run support, and that's a big win for the Pirates. 3 hits for Ke'Bryan Hayes. We like to see that. Reynolds, the big home run. Still, you know, the average is down, but his power numbers are okay. Connor Joe has just been on fire. He's hitting .327. Really a lot of good averages up and down the lineup. So the offense is getting the job done. Hayes a stolen base. Beeks had me nervous, but Underwood bailed him out, and then Bednar also had me nervous before he bailed himself out. So that's a good win for the Pirates. Let's get back to the main screen here and see what's shaking. Hopefully the Brewers lost, because we need to get a little bit of separation in the division and try and get back into a more comfortable position. So as of right now, it's a half game. They are just continuing to put pressure on us. Next game up is going to be Contreras against Rogers, as it is a 4-game set on the road against the Marlins. All right, so we pick up a win here. Final score 7-4. It was a comeback variety, though, as we fell behind 4-3. Contreras didn't really pitch that well in this one. Another good day for Connor Joe. He goes 3 for 5. Mark Mathias 2 for 4 with another home run. Reynolds also hit a home run. Santana hit a 3-run bomb. So we had the long ball going in this one. Milton was just 1 for 5 on the day. He did steal a base, but Contreras ends up going 4+ innings, 8 hits, 2 walks, 4 earned. How do I get back to the so in the 5th inning where he gave up 2 more earned runs, he gave up a couple of hits to start that inning. I pulled him, and then the bullpen sort of let him down. Velasquez gave up a hit that scored a couple of those runs. But then Velasquez did a pretty good job after that, bridged the gap to the 8th inning, or the 7th inning. Beeks came in and struggled a little bit, but Underwood came in, got a double play to end the inning, and then a scoreless 8th. Bednar a perfect 9th, and we pick up the win 7-4. Next up is going to be Mitch Keller versus Luzardo, and the Brewers may have had an off day there, as it's now just a 1-game advantage. So really tight in the division, and the Reds and Cardinals are not completely out of it yet, but 6 games below 500, you're not really a contender. So Keller versus Luzardo, let's see if we can get it done here. Well, this one unfortunately slipped away in the later innings as the bullpen let us down a little bit here, but it was a tight enough game that you can't blame them too much. We only end up getting 5 hits and 2 walks on the day, 8 strikeouts. That's the first day in a while that Connor Joe didn't have any hits, but he did have a sac fly and then a sacrifice bunt on a squeeze play to give us the lead late. Mathias 0 for 3. Reynolds 1 for 4. Not Reynolds, Milton 1 for 4 with a double. Keller pitched okay, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, 2 earned. I left him in the 6th to try and give him a chance to get through that inning, and he gave up a 2-out single that tied the game, and I regret that looking back, but all in all, he pitched pretty well, and I can't complain too much. DeYoung did a good job. Then Perdomo came in and was facing a couple of lefties and, just kind of struggled a little bit. And then he had a couple of guys on. And I think I brought in Velasquez at that point to try and get him out of the inning. And he gave up, I left Perdomo pitch to a righty who didn't hit lefties as well as he did righties. And he gave up the hit that tied it. And then Velasquez came in and gave up a run in the bottom of the 9th as a walk-off, and we lose 4-3. So that's a tough one. Let's see what the Brewers did. They lost as well, so we maintain our 1-game advantage. Now we got a tough matchup here, as it's going to be Cabrera against Brubaker in Game 3 of the 4-game set. And we lost a low-scoring one here as the bats just didn't get it done. We fall 3-1. Just 7 hits as a team, but we had 5 walks, and we had several chances. Just couldn't come up with the big hits when we needed them. 3 for 3 day for D. Strange Gordon, so he's contributing now. Mathias came in late in the game, went 0 for 2. Hayes has been swinging the bat pretty well over the last couple of games. He went 1 for 4 in this one. Connor Joe staying hot. He was 2 for 4. Milton 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Nothing else super noteworthy there. We did have a couple of errors. Strange Gordon also stole a couple of bases, and the errors hurt us as it cost us 1 run. Brubaker was pretty good in this one. 6 hits and a walk over 6 innings. 3 runs, just 2 of them earned, and he struck out 5. His ERA is 5.5, but I feel like he's had stretches where he's pitched pretty well. We're just not getting him any help, and certainly not helping him on defense with efforts like we had today. Oviedo was not very good. I was hoping to get a couple of innings out of him, but he got into trouble, and then there were a couple of lefties due up. Garcia came in and shut the door to get him out of trouble. Then DeYoung pitches the 8th. And holds them scoreless, but we couldn't score, and we fall 3-1. It's scouting assignment day. Brewers lost again, and we maintain that one-game edge in the division. Brandon Daniels does not appear to be the answer for us, as after just a little bit of scouting, he has fallen way down our draft board. So we're going to bail on him. I think we're also going to go ahead and bail on Raul Cabrera, as the potential being as low as a low C is definitely scary, especially for a guy that might only be like a 60 overall for starters, or even like a 59 kind of thing. That's just not first round, even second round potential, more than likely. So we're going to drop both of those guys, but let's look and see what's going on with our pitchers in the central region. So here we go. Antoine Hollis, pretty high upside. We've got him ranked in the top 10. We've got Alfonso Molina also ranked in the top 10. Look at all those, future ratings in the 80s and 90s. That's pretty impressive for a 19-year-old, but he looks like he might be pretty raw. We need to keep looking at this guy though, because the potential is way up there, and the initial overall is also still way up there. So we're going to keep scouting the Central, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from a few of these guys with those potentials still way up there in the high 90s. Like even Hollis is up as a 97, and that's probably why they're so high up the board. Those guys are East, and I think we've probably just decided that we've seen enough of what they have to offer. So we've got 2 weeks left. We'll keep working through the Central there, and basically anybody in the West we won't have scouted at all. But we will plan on drafting a lot of starting pitchers. So, all right, here is where I need to pick the best possible position player that I would be even remotely interested in. And I think O'Neill, maybe? I don't think so, though. I want to... We're going to look at this Ouellette as the second, or my third priority. But I need to kind of decide if, is Douglas O'Neill potentially a number 1 overall pick? I don't think the contact is ever going to be that great. He's only 18, but he looks really raw, potentially. The bat is never going to be outstanding. So he's just kind of a defensive specialist. And I don't think that really helps me that much. Bud Washington, we've talked about him as like a right-handed Kenny Lofton. He's 21. We've already got him scouted 77%, and if I look at what he has versus what Daryl Justice has, I think I would just take Justice. Give me the power-hitting corner outfielder who looks like he's going to be a mid-60s with mid to high B potential. I'm okay with that. It's not great, but I'd be okay with that and happier than what either of these two guys can give us. So as we go farther down, Trevor Cruz, I mean, if I draft a guy like this, I'm just overloaded with middle infielders, and I've got to trade somebody away. We already have O'Neill Cruz, Termar Johnson, and the other guys that are playing for us right now are really contributing, especially at second base with Castro, Marcano, and Matthias. They are all playing very well right now. So I think we need to avoid this, unfortunately. And I don't think we're going to be missing out on a ton. Yeah, it says the potential's way up there, but I don't think that's realistic. I'll only look at him if I can't find anybody else that's even remotely interesting as a potential outfielder. And really, this guy would probably be the last chance. I'm going to look at Stanley Goodman because he's 22, And you see where the overall range is. That tells me he's probably ready to contribute at least like the high minors right now. He's probably only like a high C or low B potential. But if he's already like a 69, I could have him on the 40-man roster right away. Doesn't look like he's got very good defense, but great contact, great vision and discipline, and great speed. This could be a guy that if we could get him in the second round, I would take him. So let's look at him. And then for this one, we're going to go with that Ouellette and finish scouting him entirely just in case. I mean, if he's ranked number 1 on the major league rankings, I want to make sure that I'm not like missing something there. So that's that for week 13. We still have one more week to go there, and the next game is going to be Evan Milton against Sixto Sanchez. Let's just look real quick at league leaders. 3rd in batting average, 2nd in hits. What did I see? 3rd in doubles, 4th in triples. Homers were way down there. Not surprised by that. 1st in runs, 1st in stolen bases. And see, like, that's not even that close. We need to maybe scale back our stolen base numbers a little bit, but I don't think that's too crazy. 2nd in walks. That's pretty good. 2nd in on-base percentage. 7th in slugging. 4th in OPS. 1st in wins now with a 2-win advantage. ERA, 2nd. Homers allowed. I feel like that's been a little bit of trouble for him. Although 7, that's not that bad. Shutouts, we're not likely to be way up there. Look, we're way out in front in strikeouts. And some of that is probably innings pitched, but that shouldn't be that big of a difference. I think we need to change the sliders a little bit to rein that in some. Because his Ks per 9, it's 79. That's actually pretty solid. But I feel like I had it set at 75, and it's up from there. So I think I'm going to adjust sliders. Innings pitched, no surprise that we're out in front. We will probably, end up out in front, but not by a ton, simply because I limit his innings per start. Really good walks per 9. The whip is 2nd best. Pitching WAR is number 1. Batting WAR is number 2 behind Bogarts. So he's just an absolute stud. And let's go in and adjust the sliders here. We're going to go down to CPU timing and turn that up. And that should help with their strikeout rate, but also help them get a few more hits here and there. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging moving forward. So sit tight. We'll be heading out to Miami to take on the Marlins and try and split the series. And here we are at Lone Depot Park in Miami as it's the Pirates at 41-35 taking on the Marlins, 10 games below 500 at this point in the season. So their hopes for the playoffs are fading as the All-Star break approaches, and we are getting ready for action here in South Florida. On the hill for the Marlins is Sixto Sanchez. He is 6-8 across 15 starts this year. Pretty solid numbers at a 1.34 whip and a 4.13 ERA. Not striking out a ton of guys, but also not walking a lot of guys. Just giving up a few more hits than maybe you would like, but he's been pretty good for them so far this season. So back-to-back strikes there. Gordon fouls that one off. It's quickly 0-2, and then this one comes in and hits him as he goes to the curve 0-2, and Gordon just turns into it and is on with nobody out. Connor Joe just absolutely on fire lately, hitting over 500 in his last 7 games. The 1-1 pitch is grounded to short. This one should be 2, 6, 4, 3, and a double play. And that's just what the doctor ordered there as Iglesias starts the double play, and the twin killing makes it 2-away now for Brian Reynolds. Reynolds couldn't stay back on the changeup, fouls it off, and it's now 2-2. That ball is hit hard into center field, but man, he didn't even have to move out there as that one is right at him, a rocket for the final out of the inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the first with no score. Let's get a look at the numbers for Evan Milton. Picked up win number 13 in his last start. He is making his 20th start of the season, and it just has been outstanding. 120 innings of work, a 1.8 ERA, and a whip now at .89, and leading the league in strikeouts as well. Missed down and away, and it's now 1-0 to Birdie. He's having a rough year this year, and the struggles are going to continue as that's a soft liner right at Marcano. He was jammed on that one. It was a hittable pitch, too. Look at the Marlins lineup as it's Birdie, then Iglesias. Then you get to the heart of the order where these guys can do some damage with Arias, Sanchez, Garrett Cooper. Then down the stretch, it's Fortes, power hitting Jorge Soler, Gurriel, and then Victor Meza Jr. in center field. Curve misses down and away, and it's now 3-1 to Iglesias, hitting just 189 on the season. But that's going to help his, at least the ball game, as he was 0 for 5 yesterday, and now is on with a 1-out single here in the first. Good take from Arias there, and the count now 2-1. Good pitch to run on. They tried to hit and run earlier, but he fouled it off. This time he's not going, but that ball is into the gap in right center field, and it's down. This is going to be extra bases for Arias, and Iglesias is going to come all the way around to score, and the Marlins lead this thing 1-0. Nice piece of hitting there on the fastball down and in. Arias gets around on it, takes it into the gap, and has himself a 1-run, 1-out RBI double. Now it's Sanchez, 1-0. He's been hitting the ball well for them this year. .277 with 7 home runs. That ball hits Milton, and now nobody there to cover first. It's going to go down as an infield single, and man, that hit him hard. Looks like he may stay in the game here, though, as he is going to try and shake this off. But now runners on the corners and 1 out here in the bottom of the first, and he needs a ground ball double play to get him out of this jam. Garrett Cooper hitting .230 on the season. A big opportunity for the Marlins here. That's a hanging slider that he lifts into the gap in left center. It's a long run for Reynolds. He will get there, but that's going to be deep enough to score the runner. It's a sacrifice fly. 2 quick runs for the Marlins, and they lead 2-0. Milton's been having some command issues, but that's 2 really good fastballs to get ahead. It's 0-2, and then a slider gets him swinging to end the inning. So Fortes is down on strikes, but the Marlins with an early lead as they get a pair, and they lead 2-0 after 1. Evan Milton is going to lead off for the Pirates here in their half of the second. Looking to get something going as they trail by 2. And that's a fastball in for strike 1 to start the at-bat. Now the pitch from Sanchez is right down the middle. That's hit hard. Diving stop at second. Throws from his knees and gets him. What a play there at second base for the first out of the inning, as that's Arias splashing the leather. So this guy just doing it all as he swings the bat well, and then an excellent play there to save what would have been a single to start the inning. Just inside, now it's 2-1 to Sawinski with 1 out, nobody on, and the pitch from Sanchez is taken into left field. That ball is headed for the corner. It's going to be extra bases for Sawinski. It's a 1-out double, and the Pirates have a runner in scoring position. So Hayes got the day off today, and Castro gets the start at third. Batting 7th, hitting .238 with 2 home runs. That ball grounded to the right side. Arias has it, and they are going to strand that runner as the 1-out double goes nowhere, and it's 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Pulls the slider foul. It's now 1 apiece to Soler. He's got just incredible power. When he connects, he can really send it a long way, but he got under that one. Marcano has it, and that's the first out. Now it's Yuli Gurriel. First pitch to him is a hanging curve, and that's sliced into right field. Connor Joe on the run, makes the grab, and that's 2 quick outs as Milton got away with that one. Hard contact, but that's now the second out. Fastball missing away to Mesa, and now it's 1-0. That ball grounded to the left side. Strange Gordon cuts it off. Going to be a tough play here. Long throw, and he does not get him. So Mesa legs out an infield single to keep the inning alive, and that is his first big league hit, as he was just recently called up and collects his first big league knock there. They're going to put that one on the shelf for him, and it's a 2-out single to keep the inning alive for John Birdie. Well, Birdie had one to hit there, but pulls it foul, and it's now 1-2. And then he gets another good pitch to hit as it's a mistaken location there on the slider. That ball's headed for the corner. And Mesa is going to come around and try and score. The throw to the plate is not in time, and it's 3-0 Miami here as they are all over Evan Milton early in this one. Just making too many mistakes in location, and they are making him pay for it as it's now a 3-run advantage here in just the second inning. So Iglesias 1 for 1 in this one, singled back in the first. Behind in the count here, that's a pretty soft comebacker to Milton. They're going to get the out, but another run comes in to score on the RBI double from Birdie, and it's 3-zip as we head to the third. Marcano fouls that one back. Now the count 1-2. And that's a hanging slider that he is, or a curve actually, that he is all over. Takes it into left field. Good job staying back on that one, not giving up on that pitch coming in from the outside into the strike zone, and he's on with a leadoff single. Sanchez kind of struggling with command here. It's 2-1 after that one is in for a strike. He had a couple of pitches where he makes a mistake in location, and there's another one, and the Pirates hit the ball hard a few times in this inning, but just one hit to show for it. They strand the runner, and it's going to be 3-4-5 due up for the Marlins as we head to the bottom of the third. Good take by Arias, and the count now full. 3-2 pitch is on the way, and it's grounded up the middle. Marcano going to have a tough time with this one. He's got to hurry. Nice play, and that's the first out. Fastball in for strike one. Now even at 1 apiece, and the changeup there is going to get a ground ball to the right side. It's Marcano again, and he handles that one for the second out. Almost got him to go at the curve there. Now it's 2-2 to Garrett Cooper. 2 down in the inning. That pitch is lifted high on the infield in foul territory. Castro is under it. That's a good inning for Milton as he sets him down in order. And after 3 innings of play, the Pirates trail by 3. Missed with the changeup down, and now it's 3-1 to Brian Reynolds. The windup in the pitch from Sanchez is low for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk, and another opportunity for the Pirates here in the fourth. Evan Milton will step in here. He's 0 for 1, grounded out his first time up. And he had a pitch to hit in that at bat, but that's been the case for a lot of these Pirates hitters today, as Sanchez is making some mistakes, but getting away with it. And it's been the opposite for Milton, as the Marlins have been able to take advantage of the mistakes that he has made. And he's in trouble here as it's now 2-0, and you got to throw something into the strike zone here. That's back-to-back sinkers. Milton's going to sit on a changeup here, and it's a breaking ball just right down the middle, in for strike one, and Milton was taken all the way on that one. Now 2-1. Reynolds has his lead. That ball grounded to short. This is going to be tough to get to. They're not. They get the lead out at second, but unfortunately for Milton, he kind of chased a pitch off the plate away there, and that's the first out. Excellent changeup there from Sanchez, and now 2-2 to Sawinski. And they need a base hit here or something in the gap, and that's not going to do it. That's going to get into center field, though. And look at this. Milton's going to turn and head for third. This is aggressive, and he is in ahead of the throw. So it'll be runners on the corners now. Sawinski with a single there as that one just sneaking through. And now you've got one away, couple runners on for Ji-Man Choi. Big pitch coming here. It's 2-2 to Ji-Man Choi. Sanchez looking for a double play to get him out of the inning. That's not going to do it as that ball is ripped down the right field line, headed for the corner. This should be extra bases for Choi. Milton's in to score. Sawinski going to come around to try and score as well, and he is in ahead of the throw. A 2-run double for Choi, and the Pirates are within 1. So he fires a strike here to Marcano with 2 down in the inning. The count now 3-1, and the pitch is popped up on the infield, and that is going to be handled in foul territory as he helped him there. That might have been ball 4. The Pirates do get a couple, though, as it's going to be 3-2 after the RBI double, or the 2-run double from Choi. We head to the bottom of the fourth in a 1-run ball game. That's a good location on the fastball there from Milton to start him off with a strike. And now a slider down and away. Good piece of hitting there as he takes it into right field for a leadoff single. And Milton is going to be into the stretch again. Takes the changeup off the plate away. It's now 2-1 to Soler. That ball is hit well and through the left side. And it's going to be first and second. So those are some pretty good locations on those last couple of breaking balls where he gave up hits. But unfortunately, the Marlins able to square it up. And it's now runners on first and second, nobody out, and Yuli Gurriel due up for Miami. That's now back-to-back fastballs from Milton as he's got ahead 0-2 here to Gurriel. Goes to another fastball. This is popped up in foul territory. Choi gets to it, and that's a big first out. Now a ground ball could get you out of the inning, and you got the 9-hitter due up. Mesa able to foul that one back to stay alive. The count remains 2-2. Fastball up and in, got him swinging, and that's a huge strikeout for Milton. Now 2 away in the inning, and it's going to be up to John Birdie with 2 down to try and get one of those runs back for the Marlins. He tried another high fastball, but missed again, and it's now a full count. The runners will be in motion here. The pitch from Milton is taken into center field. That's a mistaken location as he leaves a slider right over the middle of the plate, and that's going to bring a run home. It's 4-2 Marlins as they get one of those runs right back. Fastball in for strike 1 as Milton trying to escape danger here as his day could be cut short if the Marlins can extend this lead any further. But a nice catch there from Connor Joe as he had a long way to go to get to that one. That ends the inning, but the Marlins get one more. It's now 4-2 as we head to the fifth rather. That one missing outside, but the Pirates starting to, perhaps get frustrated with some of the calls by this home plate umpire. That's not going to matter this time as Rodriguez able to serve that one into left center field, and he's got himself another single, and he's 2 for 2 on the day. Reynolds fouls that one off to keep it 0-2. Pitch count getting up there for Sanchez. This will be number 87 of the ball game right here. And that ball is hit hard, and diving stop by Arias. He goes to second for the out. Not sure if he was thinking that there was just one out there, but either way it works out as they get the out to end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. It is still 4-2 Miami out in front. Arias late on that fastball. It's now 2-2. And he went around on that one. So he made the great play in the field and then comes to lead off this inning, but he's down on strikes for the first out. And now it's going to be Jesus Sanchez. Good fastball there at the knees. And it's now 2-1. That ball hit to the right side. Marcano over to get to it, cuts it off, spins, throws, and gets him for the second out. So pretty good pitch there from Milton, and that's 2 quick outs. Good take there as he lays off the curve down and away, and it's now 1-2. And Milton gets him with a fastball up and in, so a good inning of work there from the right-hander as he sets him down in order. And we go to the now 6th inning here, still 4-2, but a good inning there, and they probably will try and send him back out there for the 6th. Sanchez's day, however, is done as it's Braxton Garrett coming on. You see his numbers so far this season, 22 2/3 over 8 appearances, a 6.35 ERA, and he has just been owned by lefties, which is interesting as he is a left-handed hurler. And it's going to be Evan Milton to start things off, 0 for 2 so far in this one. 84, 91, 91. Interesting. So Garrett features a slider, a couple of fastballs, changeup, and a curve, and there's the changeup to start the at-bat in there on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-1. Now the windup and the pitch is lifted into center field. Milton had one to hit there, but just a little bit late and can't get much on it, and that's the first out. So McCutchen checked his swing, did not go, and it's now 3-1 to the veteran right fielder. And that one misses inside. He tried a breaking ball, 3-1, and lost him for a 1-out walk. Pirates going to pinch hit again here. Go to the switch hitting Carlos Santana. He's hitting .266 with 5 homers. His OPS up there at .875. Nice change up there from Garrett to get ahead in the count. It is 0-1 to Santana as McCutchen has his lead. That ball is hit hard. It is deep to left field, going back to the track, and it's out of here! A 2-run pinch hit homer for Santana, and we are tied at 4. His 6th of the season as Garrett just left that one right down the middle, and Santana takes advantage. So the pinch hitter's getting it done as McCutchen draws the walk. Santana hits a bomb, and we are all square here in the 6th. Castro takes a strike. It's 0-1 as he gets to hit right-handed in this plate appearance. And that ball is lifted into left center field and hit pretty well. That one is going back. That's at the track. Looking up, and that one is gone as well. Back-to-back shots for the Pirates, and they have the lead 5-4 here as Braxton Garrett just can't get anybody out now, as that is now walk, homer, and a 3-run swing gives the Pirates a 5-4 advantage. So Rodriguez actually 1 for 2 in this one. I believe we said he was 2 for 2 earlier. That one in for strike 1. And now that one popped up in foul territory. That's going to be handled for the final out of the inning. But it is a big inning for the Pirates as they get 3 and take the lead here. It's 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Good take there. He watches it for ball 1. It's now 1-2 to the 6-hitter. And he takes a fastball right down the chute. And that's the first out of the inning as Milton has really battled this in this outing. He's at 85 pitches as Soler steps in with 1 out here in the 6th. You got to be careful against a guy like Soler. You do not want to make a mistake over the heart of the plate. That was definitely not over the heart of the plate, but that is just unfortunate there for the Pirates as that ball is fair down the right field line against the shift. And it's a stand-up double for Jorge Soler. He's into scoring position with 1 out here in the inning, and that may do it for Evan Milton. All right, so we're going to quick manage the rest of the way, and I think I realize why my pitchers keep coming in with a little bit of fatigue. It's because I haven't bothered to get guys loose because I know that I'm just going to be like going to quick manage anyway, and that it probably shouldn't matter, but I think that's how it kind of treats that, is that it has them not be quite as sharp by reducing their energy level. So we'll have to fix that going forward, but we're at a critical juncture here. The runner on second would be credited to Milton if it comes across to score and would put him in a spot where he'd get a no decision. So we need a couple of outs here. Ground out, pop up. That's big. So we're in position for a win. Close the book on Milton. He went, 5 1/3 and gave up 9 hits and 4 runs. He wasn't that sharp, but he's still in position for a win here. We are going to... No, I don't have anybody to pinch hit with, so Strange Gordon's going to have to hit, even though it's lefty on lefty. And now they do me the favor of going to a righty, and he flies out anyway. Connor Joe has been tired. Let's let him hit, and then we'll take him out as a defensive sub. That didn't work out. There we go. And now Underwood can face these next 2. Now we go to Beeks. That's big. All right. Milton 0 for 4 and now a strikeout. Yuck. Santana 2 for 2 off the bench. Come on, I leave you in just to pitch to that one batter, and you freaking walk him. And now, like, Chase DeYoung is tired. I can't go to Bednar and look for a 6-out save. I'm going to go to Velazquez just for this inning and hope that he can get me a hold. Come on. They go to a pinch runner to get some speed. Now, fielder's choice gets him into scoring position. We need an out here. Soler's 2 for 3, but he doesn't have the greatest discipline. Yes, we try to pitch around him, and he helps us out by hitting into a inning-ending ground out. So now we need 3 outs. Matthias 0 for 2 on the day. All right, it's up to David Bednar. Single, walk, ground out, walk. Oh, come on. Whew. That's the heart attack variety right there. You load the bases with the best hitters on their team due up, but he managed to get out of it. And that's another win for Milton, even though he didn't really pitch very well. So the little adjustments that we made to the sliders may have been a little bit reflected there, but he just wasn't that sharp, frankly, making a lot of mistakes over the middle of the plate, and they made him pay for it. Good day for Sawinski, 2 for 2. And then McCutchen, the walk, and then the bench getting the job done with Santana getting the home run. Castro 1 for 4 today. As soon as we flipped him around to bat righty, he goes yard, and that was the game winner. So that 6th inning did it for us. Bullpen did an excellent job in this one. Beeks wasn't very sharp, but Velazquez did his job in a role that he's not used to, and then Bednar, that was a nail biter, but he gets save number 22, and we split the series 2 apiece against the Marlins. So we'll get back and sim to where Milton's ready for his next start, and that's going to wrap the episode. So we got a day off. So everybody should be relatively fresh coming into this one, where it'll be Seth Lugo against Contreras. And look at that, the Brewers actually lost a game, so we're back up by a game and a half. So we win a tough one here. This was back and forth early, and then things kind of quieted down in the later innings, and we win at 6-5. D. Strange Gordon was awesome in this one. He goes 3 for 4 on RBI, a couple of runs scored. He stole a base. Reynolds hit a home run. Nothing else real noteworthy. Milton, a tough day. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, as his average is down to 319. He's been a little bit in a slump of late. Contreras was not good in this one. He only goes 4 innings and 6 hits and 7 walks. He's lucky it was only 5 earned, and he was pretty much out of gas, so I had to pull him. Oviedo did an excellent job. 4 innings, didn't give up any hits. He had 1 inning where he actually walked 3, but still got out of it, and then everything else was pretty much smooth sailing for him, and he got us all the way to the 9th and bridged the gap to Bednar, who comes in and goes 3 up, 3 down for his 23rd save. So that's a nice win. It wasn't real conventional as far as the pitching situation, but we got it done. And now it's Waka versus Keller. Well, this game was just awful. We lose 9-0, and we were never really in this. Early on, we had a couple of chances, but couldn't capitalize. And then down the stretch, we just couldn't get anything going offensively. We end up with just 3 hits and a walk, struck out 10 times. Milton 0 for 2. And then he had a walk, but those were his only 3 plate appearances. And that, we had a double, was our only extra base hit. It was just a bad effort offensively. Keller pitched well until I leave him in there for the 6th, and he gives up like a double and then a home run. And now all of a sudden, it's not as... Actually, I think it might have been 3 runs in the 5th. No, it was 2. Or in the 6th, but he had given up 2 in the 5th. So he was pitching okay, and then it just, the numbers got away from him in terms of runs. But 6 hits and a walk over 5+ is not that bad. Velazquez came in and got knocked around a little bit, but that was just kind of a mop-up role at that point because we were nowhere close to getting back into that game. So this will be the rubber match here, as it's going to be Blake Snell against JT Brubaker. The Brewers lost again, though, as we're still up a game and a half. So sit tight, and we'll quick manage this last game. Well, another pretty ugly offensive performance this one. We lose 4-1. All 4 runs they got were in 1 inning. And Keller was pitching really well up to that point, generally speaking. He had only given up 4 hits, or not Keller, Brubaker. Then he gives up a couple of doubles and a single that made it 1st and 3rd, and, like 1 run had already scored, and then a 3-run homer. And I left him in to finish the 6th. But, when we don't score any runs, you can't win. And it didn't matter what the bullpen did after that. We just had no chance because our offense was just pathetic. Let's actually go back and look at... I didn't really show you our offensive numbers, and it's pretty much because there wasn't a whole lot to say. Reynolds 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Milton got a hit, but he struck out 2 more times and still continues to kind of scuffle at the plate a little bit. Matthias hit another home run. He's just been awesome for us. So we're now a half game up on the Brewers, and that's who we are matched up against here, a 3-game set. And now you see on the calendar here, the draft is in 8 days, so that will be in the next episode. So I'm thinking what we'll do with the next episode is probably play a game. Actually, we'll have to play both games and then do the draft. So we'll try and just do some savvy editing to shorten the game presentations so that we can also squeeze the draft in, because I really want to get it in the next draft. So we've reached the end of June. We're still right there in the playoff race, a half game up in the division. And let's actually look at standings as far as like the wild card situation. We'd be pretty close, but it's tight, and then the Giants are right there. So as long as we're over 500, we should be okay. But I want to win the division. So that'll do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?